Xin chào everyone, hello from Vietnam. Today we are going to explore Trang natural landscape complex in the province of Ninh Binh. But before that, we'll make a few mysterious stops on our way to the attraction, taking in the spiritual breath of this sacred land. We will go through the chaotic, unorganized crowd before embarking on a boat tour to explore the natural complex, which was also a filming location of a famous American movie that I will review later in the video. But feel free to leave a comment of what movie do you think this landscape is a part of. I'll give you a hint, Tom Hiddleston was in the movie. We will set foot in a village of a local Vietnamese tribe and blend in with the culture here. The hotel where we stay has some rental motorbikes, so we are taking those to get around for the day and pretty much for the entire stay here as well. As you can see, this alley is pretty narrow here, so whenever there's a big vehicle passing by, we have to pull over to make way for the big vehicle. If you look on both sides of the road, we are surrounded by rows and rows of mountains. And it's not just any mountain far away on the horizon. We're literally right next to them, like just a few steps walking and we can touch them if we want to. If you notice, the special thing about these mountains is that they have really steep, almost vertical cliff. Guess what? The proper term to call these mountains is limestone. So I guess that's the main component of these mountains. Look how occupying these limestones are though in this part of Vietnam. Like we see them everywhere we go, really. We see them around our hotel, we see them along the alleyway, and now we're seeing them along the highway. Ooh, look at that spooky cottage attaching to the mountain. I don't have the gut to go in there. Would you have the gut to go in there? Anyway, we're making a quick stop at a local mom and pop restaurant for some breakfast. So this place specializes in traditional Vietnamese noodle dishes, and those are the ingredients. Look how fresh they are. I used to work at a pho restaurant in the US and most of the ingredients are frozen. We are having beef pho, chicken pho, and bún mọc. Alright, now that we have refilled our tummy, we are back on the road. Oh wow, look at that, a scenic viewpoint. It's a no-brainer, we gotta pull over. Look how beautiful and relaxing this is. Vertical cliff, lush green mountain after mountain, with their reflection on the river water. How many places on earth would have this kind of view, you know? So we get back on the road and we're seeing something pretty, so we stop to take some picture again, and it's been like this whole morning. I don't even know if we're gonna make it to our desired destination with this kind of interruption. But honestly, we can't help but absorbing all of this beautifulness not just into our memory, but also into our phones. Here we are arriving at a mysterious stop called Động Chùa Bàng Long. If you translate that into English, it's Cave Temple Bàng Long, meaning a temple inside a cave. The name of the temple means dragon because legend said that the local discovered that there was a dragon inside a cave. In a different universe, the temple was named Dragon because there was one time in the 18th century, Vietnamese Emperor Chen Sam visited the place and he noticed a giant stone in the cave that looks like a sitting dragon. Apparently, there are many legends and many explanations for the name Dragon. Anyhow, When I step into this temple, I can feel that this is a very sacred land. Like I can feel spiritually connected to the history, the religion, and the Vietnamese culture going back thousands of years. It is so tranquil here. I'm surprised not to see a lot of tourists coming. This place is so well hidden. All the statues are quietly standing still, but each one is telling a story. Along with the cloudy and chilly weather, as if the stars are aligning to bring me back to history and connect with the ancestors. Everything here just intensified the mysterious vibe for me walking around as a visitor. This is the statue of Bodhisattva. Buddha's legend has it that she delayed entering nirvana or enlightenment to become a Buddha because she wanted to remain in the world to help other beings escape suffering. What an inspiring story, isn't it? Alright, it's getting a little scary and dangerous here, so I'm gonna take it slow, take it slow, take it slow. But this is such a good hike actually. It's not just an adventure, but I also get to see the astonishing view of nature from high above, especially with the statue of Bodhisattva right before me and the breathtaking background. I am really touched with the view in front of me. This is powerful, very powerful. A generous and kind being with compassion for every living thing is standing there overseeing the world from high above. I feel so lucky to have the chance to visit this temple. We just arrived at the entrance of the attraction. We're lining up here to buy the boat tour ticket. The staff is explaining to us that there are 3 different routes for us to choose from, with route number 2 being the most inclusive, meaning that it has the most scenic views, the most caves to explore, so we're going with that option, and it costs 300,000 Vietnam dong. Alright, we just got our tickets and now we're walking down to the boat's wharf. It's a short walk with colorful lantern display. Very traditional, I must say. Wow, beautiful decoration. Very traditional. So that is the embarking area right there, so we're getting down there later. But before that, we're gonna get in line. It seems like a long line. It's pretty crowded. I'm not sure if it's just today or it's like this all year round. The weather is really nice today to be outside actually. I'm glad we get to be out here and enjoy this stunning nature together with tourists from all over the world. However, I must admit that this line right now is nothing compared to the kind of situation we run into at the end of the line. Very crazy. It's a little disappointing. You'll see later. And I blame the hospitality management here. But for now, before we embark on one of the boats, let's walk around this campus and grab something to snack on. Ta-da! Alright, let's get down to the wharf area. But bam! Look how chaotic this is. It's such a mess. There is no line, and people are pushing each other, rushing onto the boats while the boats are still moving to the dock. This is not safe at all. Whew, we just finally embarked our boat. It's going to be about 3-hour boat ride with many stops along the way. So let's get the adventure begin. The view of this place is ridiculously stunning. I think this is one of the most beautiful boat rides I've ever been on in my entire life. We are surrounded by giant limestones, covered in lush green plantation. Mother Nature has done an incredible job to this place, honestly. I mean, just look at it. Just look at it. Who wouldn't fall in love with what I'm seeing here at first sight? We just arrived at our first stop, which is an ancient temple. As you can see, Trang is where nature, history, and culture come together in the most magical way. Here, not only do you have nature, but also the historic sites among that nature, where you will have a chance to take a peek into the spiritual world of the Vietnamese ancestor and what they cherish the most. In these temples, they worship not only different Buddhas in Buddhism, but also famous heroes or famous god and goddesses in the local folklore who they believe to make their life better in many ways. Leaving the temple, we are now getting in a long line to get inside another cave. It is such a crowded day today, so many boats. When I watch other YouTube videos, I didn't see this many boats on the river. I guess we just happened to be here at the best time, when everyone also wanna be here. If you wonder, yes, the temperature inside the cave is a little colder than the outside. Wow, it is so beautiful emerging out of the cave. It's not just simply the lights at the end of the tunnel. It is the out of this world view, you know?
Ý là đảo Khuyệt Cốc.
We are circling around the Thủy Đình Shrine, the spot that appears the most on social media on this tour. And from a distance is the Phoenix Peak, because the mountain resembles a phoenix. By the way, our tour guide is a very strong woman. She's been paddling to take us around, so I'm really grateful for that. And we help her paddling along the way as well, which is a fun activity. Alright, we are getting ready to get into another cave. I think this one has the lowest ceiling of all the ones we've been to. So we gotta be careful and watch our heads.
Wow. Wow, nhũ đá quá trời luôn.
Wow, so many stalactites.
Wow.
Wow, these rocks are glittering. Giant rock hanging from the ceiling of the cave.
Cục đá bự chạng.
I think this is the most beautiful cave so far. Trang Landscape Complex is a UNESCO World Heritage Site, just like Machu Picchu of Peru, Great Barrier Reef of Australia, Serengeti National Park of Tanzania, Yellowstone National Park of the USA. The list goes on, but you know what I'm talking about. Trang is also called Halong Bay on land, I guess because of the abundant limestone system and distribution resemble that of Halong Bay. But instead of on the ocean, it is on land and river. Alright guys, we are arriving at our next stop. Let's go check it out. That is the typical cottage of the northern countryside with bamboo and the banana trees. Temple of Saint Women. So this temple worships a historic hero named Women who contributed in guarding the border and protecting the country from invasion. As you can see, the building architecture here, along with other temples we've been to earlier, is the typical ancient Vietnamese architecture with magnificent details like dragon and other elements of nature like the cloud, the sun, along with drawings that reflect long history of fighting foreign invasion. This stop is special because they have snack, energy drink and instant noodle. Just in time that we're getting hungry, so we sit down for a cup of instant noodle while enjoying the view. I'm having the seafood hot pot flavor. Okay, here I am pretending to help paddling. At this point, you are probably wondering what Hollywood movie I was referring to at the beginning of this video that this place is the filming location of. It is King Kong the Skull Island. If you haven't watched the movie yet, I totally recommend it. It's gonna make you feel nervous while watching because it takes place in such an exotic world full of monsters, like a different planet. But now we know that it took place here in Vietnam. My apology, I'm gonna stop talking now. I don't want to spoil you guys. Alright, we are entering another cave. This is like a third or fourth cave for this trip already. And if you think about it, every time when we enter a cave, we are literally underneath a giant limestone. That's crazy, isn't it? And now that we're emerging from the other side of the cave, it's like entering the lost world.
Cái này là đảo gì hả bác hả?
Alright everyone, this is another stop for the boat tour. Here we'll have some last chance to see more temples and ancient Vietnamese architecture. Some temple prohibit camera, so I couldn't film the inside of the temple. My apology for that. But from the outside, you can still notice the typical roof with the mystical creature dragon, which is such a big thing in Vietnamese culture, and also the pillars whose base look like lotus flower, which is kinda like the national flower of Vietnam. Okay, from here we are walking to Khe Cop Island. Deep in the heart of Ninh Binh, where time seems to slow down and nature whispers ancient secrets, there's a place many travelers pass by, but few truly discover. Welcome everyone to Khe Cop Island! We're walking through some really tall grass and lush green plantation. I feel like a maze runner. And from far away we can see many straw houses of the tribal people. Here is the community house where all the community activities happen like dancing, worshipping, concert, and gathering barbecue as we call it nowadays. However, there's a little bummer though, none of these are real. There's no actual tribe people. There's no real fire, no real barbecue. Like all of this is just for display. But historically speaking, I guess this is how life looked like back in the ancient time on this land. You can actually step into these straw houses, try on the costume if you want to, and see how things look like on the inside. To be honest, this straw costume is not so comfy at all. It's so itchy and it's poking my skin. Alright, this is a fun common area where everyone gathers. There's food, there's tribal costumes to try on, and especially there's traditional musical instruments for us to hit some notes. This is Vietnamese grilled rice paper with some topping like egg, grill, butter, sausage, onion. Over here we have grilled sweet potato. You can actually get these for free if you participate in games like trying on costume and try on musical instruments. By the way, I was totally kidding about hitting some notes. I am no musician, so I don't know what I'm doing here.
Cũng được rồi.
But this is a really fun activity that I think everyone should try, even though you don't know how to play these instruments. It's not about doing it right, it's about the experience. So you are here already, so just do it.
Rồi lấy cây qua gõ cọc chiên coi.
Ai đây?
Over here we have some traditional peanut candy with sugar and honestly I have no idea what are the rest of the ingredients in that candy. Haha, look at my silly costume.
Trang có giống già làng á.
This is a unique Vietnamese national instrument called đàn tường, made of bamboo. The sweet potato vendors are offering us free sweet potatoes for participating in the costume activities. I'm getting hungry, so we sit down and enjoy some grilled eggs and barbecue pork. Here's another giant community house where they play a documentary video on a giant TV introducing about the history of this place. They also sell snacks here. I'm seeing sausages, boiled eggs, mango. Walking distance from the village, there is a Sun Góc Peak where we can take a hike. We're gonna climb that stair to go to that peak. Oh wow, this is a lot of stairs. It's gonna be a tough hike.
This slope is really...
I finally made it to the top.
We made it to the top.
Look at the amazing view, it is so breathtaking. The 20 minutes hike was so worth it. Okay, let's go back down. There is a hut over there hanging on the edge of the cliff. Let's go check it out. Oh wow, imagine you live in this hut waking up to this every day. Isn't this view out of this world? I don't know if you can hear what I'm hearing, but I'm carefully listening to the silence and the tranquility right here, right now. When the sun is setting, the wind is taking a break, and the animals are going to bed, nothing is moving but us and the other visitors.
Sao mày?
Dạ không, sắp tới rồi, cố lên mọi người.
It's funny, people walking up are asking me if they are almost there. And I'm like, you almost there, don't give up, you can do it.
People are complaining that they are so tired climbing the stairs.
People are really taking heavy breath walking up the stairs. Alright, that was the last stop for our adventure. After the hike, there is a shuttle that takes us to the exit. I'm taking some last look and saying goodbye to this beautiful place.
Goodbye, Cake-Off Island.
At the exit, there's another shuttle that takes us to the parking lot. And we are here back to where we were this morning. Thank you everyone for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.